well, it's about that damn time that we gotta get to Kokatsu's story again. Also, we hit 1700, I think. Is that right? Did I say that number right? Yeah, I think I did. Anyway, when it comes down to things, this is what it feels like to get close to 2,000, honestly. 300 more people to go, and we'll get that sealed nicely and tight, like the nicest of lollies, and there will be a party to be had. But anyway, I also realized too that, well, while I was watching Hero Hayes' video, he was saying that if you upload consistently, and if you take like one day off, and if you've been doing daily, then the algorithm will be on your ass about it. So what I plan to do from this point forward, at least for a while, is kind of try to upload as daily as much as I can, and just see what happens with that, because honestly, I ain't got time to lose any type of helping from the algorithm. I'm not necessarily gonna lie. If my ass is getting some help from the algorithm right now, I'm gonna use it to the best of my ability. Best believe that. So even though it's Saturday, I'm not necessarily gonna be, at home. I'm gonna be out. I'm pretty much gonna try to drop something else too. Probably talk about the Pick and Me situation, mainly because it's just getting more stupider and wilder as time kind of goes on. So we'll have to see when it comes down to things, but still, nonetheless, expect a lot of videos coming through in the coming weeks, hopefully, and we don't drop a single day, because that's something that we cannot afford to do. Let's talk about the previous episode of what the hell happened, alright? So, in the beginning of the previous episode, we talked to Ajimu in a dream, and basically she was saying that the next time we'll see her, we'll know how to control despair, saying, so we must be getting somewhere pretty close, honestly. Saki ended up saving us because we end up, falling into despair, almost killing Sage in the previous episode before that. And Konika was pissed off because we didn't tell her, so we had to apologize to her to a point where it was just a whole apology fest and just a bit of sadness, but it came through with some makeup sex, so everything kind of worked out in the end, honestly. And in between everything, we also had a date with Tanya, who flashed some good ass titties, but at the same time, Tatsumaki was also being a douchebag, considering the fact that she was, trying to find Junko on her own, thinking that she's superior and all that type of stuff. But we already know, if she kills Junko, which is her plan, then we already know what's going to happen. Junko will come back like she does in every other game, and then make endless amounts of versions of her, and that's something that we cannot necessarily deal with. So we need to figure out how to stop her without doing that, but more importantly, we need to stop Tatsumaki before she does anything ridiculously stupid. So that's like a really big deal, and that's basically what we're doing now. Me, Tanya, and Koniko are on the hunt to find this green-haired short bitch. So that's basically what we gotta do. So the first act of the story ends up being with Jay and Tanya finally finding Tatsumaki, but the battle against her as an Esper is going to be a lot harder than they originally thought. And so Tatsumaki is just floating above them like, you cannot reach me, I am the Air Jordan without the actual Air Jordan, and just be like, did either of you actually plan this out? I'm surprised that your body survived the amount of pressure I put on them, but you're still wasting my time. And so Tanya's just like, I don't know how much more our bodies can take because of all this. Do you not have any plans in mind? I'm just like, well, I got one, but it's something that you may not look forward to. And so Tanya's just like, anything at this point will do, so let's just throw something at the wall and see what sticks. By throw something, I didn't mean me, you idiot! And I'm just like, well, here goes nothing. So basically, Jay spun Tanya around and gripped tightly on her jacket and shirt and threw her up to Tatsumaki, but he made sure to hold on to that jacket and shirt, so Tanya would slip out of it and reveal her immaculate breasts. And she just screaming in the air like crazy, and it's actually just stupid. So yeah. Yeah. Anyway, Tatsumaki's just very confused about this entire situation. She's very just like, what? Why? What's happening? But it was a distraction, and Jay quickly jumped up at Tatsumaki to slash at her. But obviously, did you really think a crazy ass distraction like this is gonna work on Tatsumaki? No, not really. And so she obviously stopped it before it even happened. And so Tatsumaki was just like, I told you, it's no use. You can be as striking as you want to be, but you'll never beat me. Did you forget that mind reading is such a simple trick for me to learn? And so obviously Jay just kind of mad about this because obviously his plan didn't work. I mean, it was a decent plan. I mean, if someone just flashed titties at you, you mean you'll be distracted? I personally would be. Anyway, so Tatsumaki continues. She's just like, I may not be able to beat Baldy, but I'm damn sure able to put you in the dirt. And so Tatsumaki just continues on this. She's like, I still won't stop. I will kill Junko, and she will not best me. And so while she's talking all this yak, Konako comes from behind, about to give her the 1-2 piece combo. But unfortunately, Tatsumaki saw through that too. And so Tatsumaki say, didn't I tell you that this is impossible for you? I'll make you understand. And so Tatsumaki starts choking Konako out, like full blown going for it. And so Konako starts losing air and can't really speak too much either. And so Jay at this point just like, Tatsumaki, let her go! And so Tatsumaki just like, and what? You'll just try to stop me again? No. Maybe if you give me your word on not going after me, I'll let her live. Then I'm just like, what part of Junko will keep coming back do you not understand? And so Tatsumaki had enough and just completely choked the freaking life out of Konako with everything she had. And so Konako just at this point is nearing death because of how she's basically in this position. And so Jay at this point just screaming, Konako! And so basically time stops, only for a moment, and despair creeps into Jay's mind again. And so Despair Jay at this point kicks into his mind in this voiding ass space. And so he's just like, the one we love is about to die. She looks beautiful like that. And I'm just like, of all the times you want to talk, when she's in danger, now you want to meet up? And so Despair me just like, it is exactly why we should speak now. And I'm just like, what? And so the Despair version of me just like, your selfishness is the reason why she will die today. She told you many times, yet you didn't listen. How much more does she have to deal with until you get it? And I'm just like, my selfishness? And so we get on to Act 2. So in Act 2 is basically Jay and Despair Jay just talking to each other and basically leveling down what's actually going on inside himself. And so he just like, selfish? And so Despair Jay is just like, I thought Konako made it clear that you made decisions like that. Then again, she isn't wrong. Running away to this world and surrounding yourself with these women, it is fun. So what if it's selfish? I deserve all this anyway. And so the real me, the normal Jay is going to get confusing, I know. But the regular Jay is just like, we aren't born deserving anything. We fight for it. And so the Despair version of me is just like, and how long do we fight? Until we are old and useless? Until our bodies give up on us? All we do is fight. Especially in that world, you've never gotten anywhere. Where's that YouTube status that you fought for? Dead. All we wanted was to help people and live a decent life ourselves, so why not run to this world when the other one gave us no favors? Here, we control more than we ever could. We could take the free will from people here. And I'm just like, I wouldn't. And so Despair Jay just like, don't act like you never thought about it. We are worthless, a curse, doomed to fail. We aren't talented, no love for others. We don't know if we're good or evil. We pray for change, yet it never comes no matter how much we beg people to see our existence. We have no confidence and no hope either. We are no one. And so basically he just continues on. He's just like, there is nothing to hold on to. So let's look to darkness for answers. If other people used it and win, then that's the only way. And so Saki emerges from Jay and she's just like, that's not true. And so she goes on and she's like, you thought about stuff like this since you were a child, haven't you? It's not true, yeah? And so I'm just like, he's absolutely right. Look, I tried everything. I tried to do right and it still wasn't enough. I don't even care about myself to the point if I drop today, I don't think my life mattered to anyone. Even running away to a world I made still isn't even enough. So what's the point? And so Saki's just like, then what about the people who did support and care for you in the world, huh? What about Blue and the others? There's more people who love you than you realize. Life isn't fair, and I get you running away, but it's not that you need to stop running from that. You are running from yourself too. Even if what the other you said is true, you created me, which means I'm a part of you too. I see someone who wants to be accepted by others, who doesn't want to destroy himself but feels like there is no other way. You're brave, but foolish. But sometimes, the fools are the best ones to be around. I'm not all that smart myself, but I know what I'm supposed to be and what I should do. I do my very best, not just for me, but for others too. No one can make it on their own. I thought all three of us knew that. We decide on who will be. And so Jay just at this point just like, then, what am I? Good or evil? What can I do when I've done my best? And then Saki says, you're not good or evil. It's the decisions you make that will determine it all. And no matter how much everyone and everything throws at you, as long as you know you're doing your best, it's all that matters. And so at this point, Jay's just like, I didn't think I'd ever come to a point where my own creations would cheer me on. Saki, to spare me, you're all alright. My life hasn't been kind, and I have been running for myself. I'll do whatever my heart commands me to do. I'll take that love everyone has given me and make it my power. And so with that, Jay finally has confidence in himself, finally is able to unleash his actual feelings and actually be able to just be a better him than he used to be. So that's what this is leading on to as we go into Act 3. So we got to get our asses back into Act 3, and basically at this point, an aura starts to go around my boy. Something started happening, and so Tatsumaki to herself is just like, wait, what is this? And so Jay's energy increases more and more, and his body starts to glow brightly to the point it was blinding. Like, look at Tatsumaki here. She's like, ah, damn, inward, turn on that light, damn. So basically what happens is he ends up in that bright light taking Konako away from Tatsumaki's control, and basically he just holds her in his hands and just looking a little bit different too. He looking a little bit different too, right? And so Tatsumaki is just like, what is this power? I didn't sense this before. And so I'm just like, Tanya, hold on to her for me. And so Tanya's just like, sure. And so I'm just telling her, and so at this point Jason's telling Konako just to hold on for a second. And so we get to see this from behind, this crazy ass form, right? And so he just like, you hurt my wife. Don't agree to help her when she needed you. And now you have so much pride stuck up your ass to the point of insanity. I'll break that spirit of yours. And look at the boy. Look at the boy. What is this form? Look at the boy. Oh my gosh. Anyway. So basically Tanya just like, he's serious for once? Is that really him? And so he flies up to Tatsumaki, right? And Tatsumaki just like, this is new. This is definitely new. Still, you're forgetting how powerful I am. Or maybe not. Would you like me to crush Kaneko's body, then just her throat? Maybe then you'll start taking the idea of killing Junko more seriously. And so Jay finally understands why Tatsumaki is doing all this. He actually understands something about her that's not right, and that new form is a key point of why. So when it comes down to things, he says to himself, I get it now. And so he ends up opening his hand and used one of the powers that Ajimu gave him. One of the powers, which I think Ajimu was just trolling with this one. This was Dress Break. The same move Issei has. I'm gonna slap the hell out of Ajimu. But basically, obviously, Tatsumaki's clothes end up getting shattered and broken all up. So yeah, that's basically how that went. And Tatsumaki freaking the hell out, but Jay was already on it. This was a bigger distraction to her because it has to do with her now, honestly. So she didn't necessarily see Jay coming through from behind and backhand her to the side of the head, which lead her falling all the damn way to the freaking field on the right. And so she was trying to get up, but Jay basically just kept planting his foot on her back while she was trying to use her powers. But for some reason, Tatsumaki can't use them. She can't use them hoes. And she's just like, what? Why can't I? And then Jay at this point just like, your Esper powers are useless on me. Can't be so tough when I suppressed it down. And so Tatsumaki was getting kind of pissed at this because she was like, excuse you? You stopped me from using my own power? Bitch, do you not know how strong I am? And so she's like, you? How is that possible? And so she slides under his foot, trying to use her powers again, but failed again, obviously. And then Jay just grabbed her by the damn throat. Oh, damn, this is getting kind of hot. Anyway, at this point, Jay is just like, now, does this feel familiar? You're too prideful and easily manipulated, but you are smart, so answer my question. He's just lifting her off the damn ground. My gosh, big ass hands through the neck. Jeez. Anyway, he's just like, tell me, when the safe haven broke the first time due to Junko, she infected you to the point you sabotaged our plan to stop her, right? I can see the literal despair in you. And so Tatsumaki actually just confirms basically what Jay said. And basically she's just like, I just wanted to help Junko! And so at this point his suspicions were confirmed and Jay was just like, damn. And so basically he squeezed her throat so hard to the point he pulled out all the despair that was from inside of Tatsumaki. Because, you know, usually when Jay tries to break the despair and whatever, he usually talks to the person, you know, try to get them to change their mind in a way, try to think about some good, hopeful things, right? And that would break the spell and how things usually is, right? Nah, this time he just said, I'm gonna do it by force. Let's just choke the hell out of this bitch. And that's basically what this man did. So anyway, Tatsumaki was almost lifeless, but Jay didn't finish her off, obviously. He just says, if Junko got to you, then I need to find her quickly. And so he let her go and she fell straight up to the ground. Jay just looking silently. Look at that naked ass. Jay just looking at her silently and just like not necessarily messing with this at all. So yeah, Jay just stomped out Tatsumaki. So can we get him a trophy now? Can we call him a powerful VTuber now? We still gotta beat Hachama, but 100% he's up there in the upper echelon now, 100%. Anyway, we go to the next act, and basically everything's settled now. Tatsumaki's been defeated, the evil has been slain, and now Konako is just in the bed of, you know, their house, and essentially she's just asleep, trying to wake up a little bit, and Jay's just like, you awake? And so Konako's just like, Jay? Jay's just like, how's your throat? And Konako just go back and she's just like, it's okay, I think. She sits up and she didn't notice it's the new form that Jay has, and she's just like, Jay? What happened to you? And so Jay's just like, I had to face myself. Saki was there to help me, and I had to kind of confront the despair version of myself. This is the results of my weaknesses and strengths and everything that makes me me. And so Konako was just like, all that over me? Wait, what about Tatsumaki? And so Jay just like, I beat the despair out of her. Never mind her. Are you sure you're okay? And so Konako was just like, I'm okay, really. I feel better than normal, honestly. And so Jay just like, I just wanted to make sure. You've been put through a lot of dangerous situations, and I wanted to make sure you're okay. Losing you is not an option. And so Konako just like, you're being serious for once. Maybe you're stressed? And so Jay's just like, you don't have to. And so Konako cuts him off and just like, it's the least I can do. Plus, since my throat's better and all. And so Konako serviced Jay a bit with that suck action. And basically, it just started for some deep, and then it just went into some deep raw sex. Let's just add some sex here. Let's just have some fun here, you know? And so basically, with this new form, by the way, still turned on with this new form, just plowed the shit out of Konako and gave her the best dick of her life. Issei ain't never topping this. That just is what it is, honestly. So, we get into our very last act of things, and we're finally going back to Junko. Yes, hi Junko, how you been? Hopefully I can do your voice justice, because I haven't done your voice in Lord knows how long. Anyway, I gotta remember how to sound like a Beverly Hills chick. Anyway, when it comes down to things, Junko's head is just straight up hurting, honestly. It's not necessarily in the best of places. And so, Mukuro is just like, please, calm down, sister. You've been acting rashly for the last 3 weeks. Your methods have gotten sloppy. Maybe you should rest for a moment. And so Junko, can I do the Junko voice again? Oh lord, this video is so long. Oh, it's kind of starting, I ain't gonna lie. Hold on, let me see. Anyway, so Junko just like, will you shut up? I'm fine. I'm just tired of you and your constant bitching. And so she continues on and she's just like, you are worthless. All you do is judge me, like always. Yet you still follow me. Why? What did I do to deserve such a dumb cunt anyway? And so Mukuro is just crying at this point because she doesn't know what to do. And so she's just like, because I love you. We're what's left of our family. It's always been like this. And so Junko just like, family doesn't mean shit. And so Mukuro just like, so after everything, you don't want me as your sister? And so Junko kind of ease off a little bit for whatever weird reason. And so she's like, sister. And so in that moment, something was different. Something snapped in Junko. Something we have never seen before. This was unlike any despair that she ever came in contact with. This is new despair. And so with that snappage that just happened, Junko just like, I have no such thing. You are a traitor. So take your ass to that blue boy and give him my message. Tell him the game has yet to begin. Tell him that you have yet to see real despair. He'll regret making this world using my power. Now stay out of my sight, despair poser, before you end up dead just like our mother and father. And so Junko walks away laughing to herself. What the actual hell happened? Yeah, this is getting crazy. But that's basically the entirety of the episode now. So hooray, we got a new episode out, done, and all that type of stuff. I do want to mention a couple of things though. Number one, when it comes to the Despair J and the regular J kind of talking to each other, talking to themselves basically, since everybody's kind of somewhat the same person. When it comes down to things, I like to have moments of my real life put into these stories sometimes. Sometimes these thoughts and, you know, emotions and all this type of stuff come from a really real place that I've once thought of or currently do think of. And the whole talking point with, you know, the Despair J and the real J is me. That's literally how I think sometimes, and that's how, you know, I often view myself. Not as a great type of person, don't really have a lot of confidence, all that type of stuff. And to me, you know, it's helpful to have this in the series, mainly because, not just because it's progressing like the characters and stuff, but it's almost like it's therapeutic to write this stuff because it's somewhat evolved around me, and it does help in a way. So, you know, and I guess I want someone to look at this series in these moments and to be inspired, I guess, to know that everything is going to be fine at the end of things. Yeah, it might suck now. Hell, we might not necessarily see a proper way out, but still, it doesn't necessarily mean that everything like that has to be exactly like that, you know? It doesn't necessarily have to mean that this is what we all are, you know? Sometimes you gotta just believe that things will be okay and that's how things are going to be, and just claim it to be so, honestly. That's just really sometimes all you can do. And to be perfectly honest, this also shows you a side of that self-reflection constantly too, that I usually do, you know? You shouldn't, I would say at this point with self-reflection, you shouldn't overthink yourself, but you should reflect on yourself as well, as a human being, as a person, and what you're doing, honestly, to never lose sight of what you really are, you know? So I think that's important. And lastly, when it comes to Junko's part, we are starting to wrap up Junko's arc. This does not mean that the series is getting wrapped up. No, we still have a long way to go. But for Junko's part, yeah, this is starting to get wrapped up, honestly. So that's basically how that's going to go. So there really shouldn't be too much more left with Junko, honestly. There's a few things that we obviously got to wrap up. There's a few tie-ins that we got to, you know, knock down and all that type of stuff. But when it comes down to things, for Junko's part, this will be kind of sort of the closing segment of her act, honestly. You know, she's been the villain for a year now. She's been the villain for over a year now, technically. It's time for Junko to kind of go home and just, you know, stay there. You know, kind of time for her to be defeated. So that's basically what's going to happen. So we'll be ending that arc of Junko very soon. And I know exactly how I'm going to end it too. So just be waiting for that. But anyway, that's basically all I really wanted to say for this one. So hopefully you enjoyed the ride. Hopefully you did enjoy me trying to do my Junko impression again, even though I literally cannot. But still, when it comes down to things, I tried. So hopefully you did enjoy. If you did, be sure to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification on the way out. Also follow me on the socials and if you'd like to donate to the channel. Patreon is available as well. And you also go for the merch store because, you know, the merch is important. So go get you some gear, you know. So just have that in the back of your minds as well. And until then, it's your boy Jay, signing off. Have a blessed day.